A Cologne company, Sauvage, with Johnny Depp, tried to, I guess, it was a get woke, go broke thing? I kind of don't know. Actually, the response may be get woke, go broke. So for those that aren't familiar, Johnny Depp, well, first, Johnny Depp played a Native American in The Lone Ranger or whatever, and everybody got really mad because Johnny Depp, I guess, is white. I think he's part Native American, though. Whatever. I have no idea. All I know is he did this commercial. Everybody got all angry because in the commercial there's a dude, like a Native American guy, doing a Native American dance. So they pull the commercial, and I gotta say, it's the most insane thing ever. You know why? They actually have what appears to be a Native American man doing a Native American dance. People were angry. They pulled the ad down. Now people will not see the Native American dance. This was essentially going to put a bit of Native American culture in the face of Americans, which is a good thing. Instead, they take it down. So I'll tell you this. This may be a get woke, go broke in a way we're not used to, in that the woke crowd demanded the ad removed, and now they've lost the money from the ad and they've retracted it. So there's another thing I want to point out, right? The bigger arc here is that in many instances, you have an opportunity for cultural enrichment to show people a piece of culture that's outside of the American norm. And because of the woke crowd, it gets taken down. Case in point, remember when Scarlett Johansson was supposed to play a transgender man and everybody got so angry, this was last year, that she canceled it? A lot of people were upset because this would have been a movie with a lead character, the main character being trans, which would have would have helped to normalize the trans community to the American public. There's a lot to go through here. I want to save it because I want to tell you the news first. So let's dive into the story. Before we do, head over to Tim. It's still not okay. You know what? Don't go to Timcast. No, go to youtube.com/TimcastIRL. I have no idea why my donate page isn't working. But hey, I got a new YouTube channel. And I might have a special video for you guys tomorrow from behind the scenes of the event we're doing today. So youtube.com/TimcastIRL and subscribe, because I'll have videos behind the scenes and on the ground. But anyway, let's read about Johnny Depp and why everyone's angry about cultural appropriation. They say, Dior has deleted ads from its social media accounts promoting its Sauvage fragrance after it faced a backlash because of its use of Native American culture. A video on Twitter featuring a Native American dancer and an Instagram post explaining the campaign that was crafted with Native American consultants was deleted hours after the fashion house was called out for cultural misappropriation and being insensitive. But they brought on Native Americans to help do the ad. What absurd reality are we living in? As part of the Sauvage campaign, Johnny Depp stars in a film called We Are the Land that is described in marketing materials as an ode to Mother Earth. In the ad, the narrator says, "We are the land," as a Native American man performs a traditional dance before the screen goes to black. It also features Johnny Depp wearing a multicolored poncho while playing guitar and a dark-haired model with long hair in a Native American dress. So let me get this straight. The company goes to the Native American community and says, we want to really showcase, your culture and talk about Mother Earth. And they're all like, yeah, great, let's do this. So then they actually show the native dance, and woke outrage triggers its removal? Okay, let's think about this for a second. Today, I will be speaking at an event in Philadelphia called Ending Racism, Violence, and Authoritarianism, with an overarching theme of, these things in the culture where we don't like. Racism being one of them. Who is protesting us? For the most part, not all, but many, white, privileged, suburbanites. It's these young kids who tend to be white, the white savior types who think they're going to come to our event and shut it down. So I ask you this question. These woke activists demanding that an actual Native American dance be removed. Why would we assume they're progressive? Wouldn't progressives advocate for more diversity in commercials? Wouldn't a progressive say, it's really great you made a commercial with a Native American man showing a Native American dance and making an ode to Mother Earth? Isn't it a good thing that you got Hollywood A-lister Johnny Depp in a commercial which is going to attract widespread attention showing a Native American man? No, okay, you know what, man? They've gone full circle. These people have gone so far left, they wrapped around, and now they're back where the actual Nazis are, getting rid of actual cultural diversity. And this is one of the biggest problems I have with the whole thing. I like the idea of diversity, actually showing other cultures and ideas and perspectives, languages, and it's getting taken down because the woke left doesn't like it. How does that make sense? I'll say this. People got really mad because Johnny Depp played Tonto in The Lone Ranger or something. But they say Depp was adopted as an honorary citizen of the Comanche Nation in a private ceremony by the group's founder. Okay. So I don't look, man, the rules make no sense. But let's do this. Take a look at this story about Scarlett Johansson. And I want to make a bigger point about, I really don't believe that the goals of the woke left is to bring about true diversity. I think it's just winning. I've said it before. I think most of you might agree. They just want victory over and over again. So what happens then when you give in to their demands? They still demand a victory, in which case that's how they go full circle. So, going back to the point I was making about my event, we played by every rule they asked for. We had more female speakers than male. We have proportional people of color relative to the American population. It's not perfect. Look, we tried our best. Okay, I'm not one of the official organizers, but everything was done to be like, okay, we want to do an event talking about ending racism, violence, and authoritarianism. Bring on some people from the left and the right, have them sit down and talk about the culture war, because this is how we move forward. Well, they're protesting it. They're protesting it and trying to get it shut down using every lie you can think of. They just want to win. And I think this is how the mask slips. I really don't think they're white supremacists or anything like that trying to shut us down. I really don't think the people who are trying to get this commercial removed are white supremacists. I will say there are going to be, alt-right types who are going to be joining in that campaign. So maybe after a while you should take a look around and see who you're standing next to. But what happens is they don't care that this man is Native American. They don't care if it's offensive to Native Americans, because in fact, Native Americans were consulted for this. They don't care if it's going to actually promote the trans community. They just want to win. So even when you play the game they ask, they still come after you. Case in point, my event. So that says to me that, I don't know what the end result is. I don't know what the goal is going to be. If they're just going to protest no matter what. I remember I went to an event that YouTube hosted years ago, and they were trying to figure out how to normalize, other cultures and diversity and stuff like that. And I said, the easiest way to normalize it is to not act like it's not normal. A lot of people were saying things like, what you need to do is make a video explaining why it's normal. And I said, if you need to explain why something's normal, you're telling people it's not. I'll tell you what works. Make a show that just so happens to have a character of an identity or something, and don't make an issue of it. If you're going to do a show and you want to normalize the trans community, have a transgender character just be a regular person because they are. If you make the show about the identity, then you're basically telling people it's not normal, and that's why there's a show about it. If you make a show about a guy who works at a law firm whose dad is a clown who always interrupts his work, and it's silly and wacky, and it just so happens that he has a sibling who is a trans woman, and the trans woman's identity isn't defined by being trans, they just, are in on the joke and they're another character, that's normalization. That's what you expect. So when you have the Native American community say, we're going to work with you on this ad, and they showcase it, and they show the dance, that is normalization. They are not telling you, hey, this is a thing that's so different. They're just showing it in a commercial, and they're saying it's about Mother Earth. This will, there will be kids who will watch this, and they'll recognize it, and they'll grow up seeing this image and understanding a little bit. Instead, the woke left just wants that victory to feel good, to feel satisfied. And as long as people won't stand up to them, there will not be real justice. This is why I'm so bothered by it, okay? I'm for social justice. Believe it or not. Oh, I've said it a million times, okay? You know from my family history, my experiences, and where I come from in this country, in a very urban, Democrat area, that I believe social justice is something we should strive for. But as many people pointed out, it's just justice. It's trying to make sure that people have equal opportunity. And admittedly, there are imbalances historically. It's a fact. There are people who have, for historical reasons, been disadvantaged for generations. I believe there are ways to fix this. I don't believe the way to do it is to point to someone and say, hey, look at the color of their skin. That makes no sense. What does make sense is class. If somebody is poor because they've been disadvantaged historically, well, then let's figure out how we can lift them up and give them an opportunity. There is a point to be made that you can't have equal opportunity if some people have access to the best resources in the world and others don't. The issue then becomes something about class. Tucker Carlson talks about this. They want us separated by race because race doesn't actually define advantage or not. It protects the wealthy. That's why he said it's always the rich people who are trying to make you focused on race. Why? Because then the poor, Asians and the poor Latinos and the poor black people will look at the poor white people and everybody fights. Meanwhile, the rich people of all races laugh and smoke their cigars and sip their martinis. So I'll wrap it up here. But kind of the point I want to make is, I hope, I'm assuming it was clear. This, in my opinion, was fine. I mean, look, I'm not a Native American, but if they were consulting on this production, I have to imagine there were people who were okay with it. I'd also have to imagine that there are some Native Americans who are not okay with it, saying, hey, don't use our culture for your commercials. But if you have this resentment where you're like, I don't want to be a part of your culture, well, then you won't be. Congratulations. But if you want people to see your culture and you want to preserve your culture, then you should do everything in your power to make sure it becomes something cool, associated with Johnny Depp, of all people. But you know what? I think these people just want to win. That's all they care about. So there it is. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Stick around. Next segment will be at 4 p.m. youtube.com/Timcast. Thanks for hanging out. It is a different channel, and I will see you all there.